Do you have a severance and a 401k and you literally don't know what to do next? This video may inspire your next career move. Career transition, when it's your decision, is one thing. When it was your company's decision is quite another thing. But either way, it's a thing. For nearly 20 years, I have been working with executives in career transition who have found themselves at this professional fork in the road, wondering, who do I really want to be when I grow up? What do I want to do as my next hurrah? Many haven't had to think about a resume in 2 decades. And at this point, they really don't want to. So how do you decide what your next career move should be? I know that sometimes money dictates that finding the next job as quickly as possible is really the only answer, and that's okay. Whether you need money today or you don't need money today, if you have dissatisfaction in working for somebody else and you are at this professional fork in the road, I'm so glad that you found this video. For 20 years, I have been helping executives in career transition figure out what is their next best move. One of the things I've identified from all of the people that I've worked with is when they have lost their job through no fault of their own, many of them feel a little jaded. They feel like the rug's been pulled out from underneath them. They're looking for some stability. So how do you soothe that inner dissatisfaction by just taking another job? What if that company then lays you off in 3 years or 5 years, and now you're 3 or 5 years older and getting the next job is even harder than finding this one was? And this is why the Daily Coach has a business and why I've been talking to executives in career transition for the last 20 years. Some executives may have thought about owning a business at some time in their life. Some have even thought about franchising. But then there are others who never would have left their corporate job, who saw themselves as corporate employees until they were ready to retire. But now they're in a different situation. And franchising can really meet all of those people in the same place. The benefits of a proven franchise opportunity are there. And that is what I want to explain to you in this video. When I begin working with candidates, we start with the end in mind. I share with them this goals and dreams worksheet. It's a very basic worksheet, but it helps my candidates to start thinking about who do they want to become personally, professionally, and financially. Sometimes this goals and dream exercise not only helps me to build their personal business model and match franchise opportunities to it, but sometimes it helps them get clear and focused on what kind of job they might want next. By knowing where you want to end up and in what time frame, and then considering where you are, by giving yourself the opportunity to think through this conversation, it's going to help you to get clarity around what the next best career move for you really is. Now, like I said, sometimes money dictates that it has to be a job. But just because you go get a job does not disqualify you from owning a franchise business, because in franchising, there's the opportunity for you to come in as the CEO working on your business rather than in your business, being what we call a semi-absentee investor. So if you do need that W-2 job or the healthcare benefits that that job affords, you can do that, but you don't have to leave your full financial future in the hands of another employer. You now have the opportunity to build income that you own and can control, just as if you were to go invest in real estate and have tenants paying you rent. So franchising can provide full-time or semi-absentee opportunities depending on how the business owner wants to use the business as job replacement or as a side hustle to a full-time job. So once we've worked through a candidate's goals and dreams, and they've spent some time figuring out who they want to be personally, professionally, and financially, and they start to regain a sense of stability. They start to regain a sense of control, that their future can actually be in their control. Oftentimes, this is where they become very excited at the idea of exploring franchise opportunities. This is why franchising can be a golden opportunity for executives in career transition. It really is the opportunity for the average person with no prior business experience and without an MBA to come to the idea of owning their future, their time, their income. To come to the idea of building a business, but you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So you're building a business with the support of other people. Somebody else has gone before you. They've paved the way. They've created a business plan. They've created technology and marketing plans. They've set up training and support for you so that you can feel confident that if you dared to say yes and you had this dream to own your future, you could use a proven franchise system to create a result that means you get to own your time, your income, and your financial future. So if you've been locked up in corporate America for the last decade or 2 decades or 3 decades, and you now find yourself free as a corporate refugee, and you're saying to yourself, I never want to go back there. Or maybe you're saying to yourself, well, I do want to go back there. I enjoy my career, but I don't want to end up back here. I don't want to have the rug pulled out from underneath me. I don't want to end up with this same feeling of instability where somebody else has control over my future. I would love to meet you. I would love to take you through my process. It's a free process, and it's a process of evaluation where I'm going to get to know you, evaluate your background, your interests, your skills, your finances, and then, as I said before, build for you your personal business model. This is the business model that then I'm going to use to match America's best franchise opportunities to. So we're not going to throw mud at the wall. You're not going to have to look at hundreds of concepts. And this is not going to take even 6 months of your life to figure out. Through my proven process, I can have you competent in the due diligence that you've done, having looked at 3 to 5 franchise opportunities, and confident in your final answer within 1 to 2 months. If you have a severance package, we can try to double dip where we can get you to the yes in the franchise and even into training and maybe even open for business, depending on how many months of severance you have, to where you can be getting paid through your severance while you're ramping your franchise business. Tell me that doesn't sound like an amazing idea. If your severance runs out, there are other opportunities. Maybe you have savings. Maybe you have a 401k. Did you know that there's a thing called a 401k rollover or a ROBS program? This would allow you to use those assets in your company's 401k plan, a company that you're no longer tethered to. You can use that 401k for the purposes of starting a business without creating a taxable event. Did you hear what I said? Without creating a taxable event. That, for most people, is the biggest pool of money that they have. That, unless you're of a certain age, you cannot touch without a tax penalty. Well, there is a way that you can tap that or a portion of that for the purposes of starting a business without creating that taxable event. To learn more about the ROBS program, absolutely reach out to me. But in the bigger context of what I want you to understand is there are opportunities for you to leverage resources that you have, severance, 401ks, SBA loans, resources that I have to help you finance this franchise dream. All I need from you is an open heart and an open mind. A little bit of dissatisfaction in corporate America, a lot is even better. If you bring me that, I promise to teach you everything I know about franchising so you can get up the learning curve and find the franchise opportunity that matches who you want to become, what you want to achieve, and in what time frame. We can do that together in as little as 1 to 2 months. My services are free. You have nothing to lose. You're standing at this fork in the road. I want to be a resource. If you are inspired to take action and consider franchising as your next professional career move, please send me an email right now. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to watch all the other ones on this channel. And while you're at it, please like, subscribe, and then ring that notification bell.